Naomi, did you mess up dinner again today? You're really not good at cooking. I'm so sorry. I'll practice more and do my best to make something everyone will enjoy. Well, of course. Doing your best is expected. But it might be a bit too much for you. Do you think you'll ever be able to make something that suits our family's taste? Huh? Was it really that bad? Well, if effort alone could fix everything, no one would have a hard time. You grew up in a single-parent household, right? Maybe that's why you don't really know what home-cooked meals should taste like. That's true. I didn't have a father. But I always cherished the meals my mom worked hard to make for us. Well, that's a nice little story, I guess. But you can't serve such simple meals to our family. This isn't your typical household. Don't forget that. Yes, you're absolutely right. I'll study more and try to make better meals. Study, huh? Do you really think you can manage that? Everything about you just feels so shallow. You act like you're trying, but there's no result to back it up. Honestly, maybe the real mistake was you marrying into this family in the first place. That's not true. Jack and I love each other, and that's why we got married. So I'll work even harder to meet your expectations. Love? Love doesn't mean much in a marriage. Reality is a lot harsher. I wonder when you'll finally realize that. This family isn't easy to deal with, and love alone won't get you through it. You're right. I'll take your words to heart and do my best. Well, you can try all you want, but honestly, I don't have any expectations. In the end, you'll just end up doing things halfway, won't you? That's how I've felt, watching everything you've done so far. I had no idea you felt that way. I just don't think a girl like you is suitable to be the wife of this family. There must have been someone better for my son, and I wonder every day why it had to be you. I believe that no one is more committed to supporting Jack than I am. Anyone can say that if it's just about feelings. But you don't meet the standards of this family, do you? And besides, growing up in a single-parent household, I think there's a lot you'll just never understand. Hello there. It's been a little while, hasn't it, Lucy? I hope you've been doing well. I wanted to chat with you about a few things, so I decided to text you. It's been a while. I've been doing well. How have you been, Amelia? What can I do for you? I've been feeling awful these past 5 months. Every day there's some kind of issue, and honestly, I'm just exhausted. How did things get like this? Huh? Did something happen? Did Naomi do something wrong? Can you tell me what's going on? Oh, you haven't noticed? Well, I'll fill you in. It's been 5 months since your daughter married into our family. Time sure flies, doesn't it? But in that time, she's been completely useless. It's almost like she came into this family for no reason. I find myself frustrated every day. Nothing is going well, and I can even feel the atmosphere in the house getting worse. Isn't there something we can do about this? So, you're saying it's my daughter's fault? I never imagined something like this would happen, but what exactly is the cause? Oh, do I really have to spell it out for you? Are you really that clueless? The root of the problem is quite clear. Excuse me? But I raised my daughter to be someone we can be proud of, no matter where she goes. She might still be adjusting to your household and its routines, so I think she just needs time to learn. Could you please be patient with her? Lucy, it seems you still don't understand how things work in our family. It isn't an ordinary household. Oh, and Naomi is just as clueless as you are. Since getting married, she's been struggling with the reality of this family. What do you mean? Has Naomi misunderstood something? We run one of the top companies in the industry, you know? Our revenue is enormous, and we're on a completely different level from regular folks like you. You wouldn't know this, but our way of life, our level of education, everything is on another dimension. We live in a world that's entirely different, and there's nothing in common between us. You say your daughter is someone you can proudly present anywhere, but to me, she's nothing but an embarrassment. How can you not see that she's unfit for this family? And, well, she did grow up in a single-parent household, didn't she? That alone is already a huge problem. What's so wrong with coming from a single-parent household? If the structure of the family is so important to you, shouldn't you be able to understand just how hard our daughter has worked? Is it really such a shame to marry someone from a family without both parents? I'm worried about how it looks to others. The wedding is planned for next year, but I don't want people to find out that my son married a girl from such a family. Honestly, I want them to get divorced as soon as possible. That would be best for our family. My daughter may not have a father anymore. But so what? Her worth isn't determined by her parents, and I don't understand why you'd call it a shame. Of course you wouldn't. Parents who couldn't even manage to stay married wouldn't get it. Naomi's just a victim in all this, isn't she? How sad, really. This all happened because you married a loser. You two split up and ended up raising her in a single-parent household. The real problem here is the mother, isn't it? I have no plans to dive into the past, but looking down on us when you know nothing is a bit much, don't you think? Oh, did I hit a nerve? Are you upset? But you've lived as long as I have, right? You should be able to imagine how hard Naomi has it after hearing what I've said. She's not welcome in this family. You might want to be ready for your daughter to come back home soon. Mom, it's me. Sorry for the delayed response. I didn't mean to keep you waiting. I've had some free time here and there, but I just didn't have the chance to message you on WhatsApp. I'll definitely come back next month for Dad's memorial. Naomi, are you okay? Huh? What do you mean? I mean, how things are going at Jack's house. I've been worried that Emilia might be saying something harsh to you. Since you haven't said anything, I've been even more anxious. I'm always thinking about you. Did Emilia reach out to you? Did she say something? Well, she did contact me, yes. But even after hearing from her, I don't know all the details. That's why I wanted to ask you directly. By the way, are you calling her by her first name? What's going on with that? Yeah. She said she doesn't consider herself my mother, even out of obligation. That's how she sees it, so I don't call her mother or anything. I see. It must have been tough hearing that. But you don't have to force yourself to accept it. I'm sorry, Mom. I feel like I've caused you so much trouble, and I really regret that. Why would this be your fault? You have no reason to regret marrying Jack. None at all. But I feel like it's because I married Jack that things turned out this way. What are you talking about? You haven't done anything wrong. You and Jack got married because you love each other, and there's no reason to doubt that decision. You both truly love each other, right? That hasn't changed, has it? Yeah, I'm really glad we got married. Every day with Jack is a happy one. Being with him brings me so much joy. That's good. If you're happy, that's what matters most. But Naomi, I don't want you to push yourself too hard. If living with them becomes too difficult, there's nothing wrong with talking to Jack about it. I'm sure he'll understand your feelings and support you. He loves you, so I'm confident he'll always put you first. Yeah, you're right. But Mom, I've only been living here for 5 months, you know. It's still so early and I think it's too soon to give up. Right now, my relationship with Amelia isn't great, to be honest. But I still want to try a little harder. Naomi, I understand how you feel. I want them to get to know me better, and I also want to understand Amelia and the others more. So I want to keep trying a little longer. If that's what you've decided, I won't say anything. But I just want you to take care of yourself too. No matter how much effort you put in, if you push yourself too hard, you'll end up breaking down both physically and mentally. I understand. Thanks, Mom. I'll see you next month. I'll make all your favorite dishes for you. Take it easy when you're here, okay? Lucy, do you have a minute? I hate to break it to you, but Naomi won't be able to come back. Hope you don't take it personally. What? It's my husband's memorial. It seems that way. But Naomi has some important work to do here at our house. We need her to prioritize that, otherwise, it would be quite inconvenient for us. Work that takes precedence over a parent's memorial? Is it really something that important? A Memorial Day only comes once a year, and it's such a significant day for the family. Oh, absolutely! Our beloved dogs suddenly ran away. I couldn't believe it myself. Naomi is out there chasing after them as we speak. We should really appreciate her efforts, don't you think? Obviously, the escape of our family dogs is more important than a Memorial Day, isn't it? After all, unlike your husband, they're still alive. We can't just abandon them, can we? Unlike my husband because they're alive? I can't believe you'd say something like that. Oh, why are you so shocked? I'm just stating the facts. I thought maybe you got divorced because of an affair or gambling. But then I found out he had actually passed away. Well, it seems luck wasn't on your side, was it? That's just how it goes sometimes, doesn't it? But anyway, I'm relieved that you understand, Lucy. It's such a help to have someone who can see things clearly. Please tell my daughter to contact me once things settle down. I sincerely hope that the dogs are found safe and sound as soon as possible. Take care. Mom, do you have a minute? Sorry for texting you so late. Are you still awake? If you're asleep, I'll reach out again tomorrow. I'm awake. What's going on? Well, you know... Did something happen again? Mom, I'm sorry. I can't take it anymore. Today, Amelia burned the last family photo I had with Dad. What? And then everything just hit me all at once. I realized I can't live in this house anymore. I'm so sorry for making you worry so much all this time. I finally realized that the way I've been trying is all wrong. I'm saying goodbye. I'm going to cut ties with Amelia and the others. Jack feels the same way. That's the right choice. Huh? You don't have to endure such a painful life. Thank you. I wish I could have been accepted by Amelia and the rest of them. But it looks like that's just not gonna happen. It's been less than 6 months since we moved in together. I kept wondering if I just wasn't patient enough. What are you talking about? There are some things in life that you don't need to put up with. But back in the day, even if people wanted to stop living together, they weren't allowed to, right? When I think about how everyone in the past endured to meet the expectations of society and family, I start to think that maybe I'm just not patient enough and blame myself. Compared to what people went through in the past, my problems must seem so small. And when I think about that, I feel like I should be trying harder. The past is the past, and now is now. As times change, so do values. Patience isn't always a virtue, and it doesn't necessarily lead to happiness. No one wants to be hurt, and deep down, no one wants to suffer. Forcing yourself isn't always the right thing to do. In today's world, if you can choose to live separately, that's the best option. The most important thing is to protect your mind and your health. Yeah, you're right. Hearing your words puts me at ease. But there's one thing I'm still really worried about. What is it? What's making you feel so anxious? Jack agrees that we should leave the house, but I'm scared that if we really do leave, Amelia might try to retaliate. That's what's frightening me. Plus, I found out that the company you work for does business with my father-in-law's company. That just adds to my anxiety. Amelia even said before that getting you fired would be easy for her. Oh, she said something like that, huh? What an incredibly arrogant person. But don't worry, Naomi. Are you really sure everything's okay? I mean, the company you work for is just a small-town factory. And with Amelia's influence, I'm worried something might happen. Even a small company is solid if it's well managed. You don't need to worry about that. Just because it's a small-town factory doesn't mean it's weak. Our company has survived on years of trust. I know that, but I still can't shake the feeling of anxiety. Naomi, there's really nothing for you to worry about. Actually, there's something I haven't told you yet. Huh? Something you haven't told me? Is it something serious? Yes, it's important, and I'd like Jack to hear it as well. So when you two leave the house, could you come to my place? I'll explain everything then. Lucy, what on earth is your daughter thinking? It's shocking how poorly she's been raised. Your daughter has done something absolutely outrageous. What did Naomi do? She took my son Jack as a hostage and left the house. Really? That's funny because it seems like Jack was also in favor of leaving. Did you know this? Yes. It seems Naomi has reached her limit in all the horrible treatment. I fully supported their decision to live separately. Jack left a note saying he's even stepping down as the family heir. Do you even understand what that means? I'm sorry. As a regular person, I don't quite get it. Like mother, like daughter, I suppose. This just proves how poor your parenting was. It's unbelievable that you'd go so far as to sever his relationship with his parents, just to steal him away. In a normal family, this would never happen. Your household's poor upbringing is clearly to blame. I don't think there was anything wrong with how I raised my daughter. But I do have to admit, there's something about family ties. No matter how much you try to prevent it, sometimes your bloodline shows itself in unexpected ways in these situations. What? What are you even talking about? Are you trying to joke your way out of this? Enough of this nonsense. Tell me where my son is right now. I don't want to waste any more time with this back and forth. I'll go pick him up myself and bring him back. I'm sorry, but I absolutely won't tell you. When Naomi and Jack got married, we thoroughly looked into you as well as his mother. It's only natural to be prepared, right? Oh, I see. Well, good job. I hear you've been working at the same company since your husband passed away. For 30 years, at a small town factory, slowly but steadily. It seems you've managed to make a decent profit, but in the end, it's still just a small-time factory job. One word from our company, and it would be easy to shut down your little operation. Oh, is that so? I didn't expect to hear something like that, honestly. Do you even understand what I'm saying? What are you really thinking? Yes, I fully understand. Then tell me where they are. For your own good, it's best not to resist any further. No, I won't. That's the one thing I absolutely cannot do. Do you think I won't take action? How laughable. I understand how you feel now, but soon enough, you'll realize just how powerless you are. You'll learn the hard way. Just sit back and watch. Hey, this is definitely your doing, isn't it? I know it for sure. What's going on here? Lucy, what have you done? What's going on? I tried to pressure your company a bit, thinking I'd crush it. But now all of our business partners are suddenly canceling their contracts with us. What on earth is happening? I never imagined it would turn out like this. I was simply trying to do the same thing you did, Emilia. And as for the results, I think you know better than anyone what's happening. Are you kidding me? There's no way someone like you working at a small town factory could pull off something this big. What did you do? Well, it's understandable you'd think that. But I didn't do it with my own power alone. I had the help of my family. What? Your family? That's right. It seems you didn't dig too deeply into my family background, focusing only on my current life. My family runs one of America's leading companies. You probably aren't aware, but their influence is quite significant. What? No way! But you live in an ordinary apartment. How could the daughter of a big corporation live in a place like that? Yes, I do live in a regular apartment. But that's because I've chosen a life that fits my own means. I don't rely on any financial support from my family. My husband and I essentially eloped, and we've built our life on our own without leaning on my parents' wealth. Is that really true? It's hard to believe. I understand why you'd find it hard to believe. But even if you can't trust my words, perhaps seeing what's happening to your company now might convince you a bit, right? That might be true, but I never wanted to use my family's influence like this. But I couldn't just stand by and watch as he tried to destroy my daughter's happiness. Both my parents are still alive, and I'm their only daughter. So I had to humble myself and ask for their help. The only good outcome from all of this was that my daughter finally got to meet her grandparents. So in a way, I guess I should thank you for that. Then there's no problem at all. If Naomi is the granddaughter of such a large company, there's no reason for me to oppose her being the wife in our family. But when I tried to crush the company you work for, all our business partners started canceling their contracts with us. I was just doing what you tried to do, Amelia. Are you joking? There's no way someone like you, working at a small-town factory, could pull off something like that. That's correct. Which is why I had to rely on my family's influence. What? It seems you didn't dig too deeply into my family background, only focusing on my current life. My family runs one of America's leading companies. What? No way! But you live in an ordinary apartment. Yes, I live a life that suits my means. If you were really the daughter of a big corporation, you wouldn't be living in some cheap rental. I don't receive any support from my family. To be honest, my husband and I essentially eloped. I left home to escape an arranged marriage to someone my parents had chosen for me. Is that really true? Even if you can't trust what I'm saying, can't you see the truth from the current situation you're facing? That might be true, but I never wanted to use my family's influence like this. But I couldn't sit by and watch you try to destroy my daughter's happiness. Both of my parents are still alive, and I'm their only daughter, so I had to swallow my pride and ask for their help. The one positive thing that came out of this is that my daughter finally got to meet her grandparents. So, in a way, I should thank you for that. Then there's no problem at all. Naomi is the granddaughter of a big corporation, right? That means there's no reason for me to oppose her being part of our family. Please stop with these ridiculous jokes. Do you really think what you've done to Naomi is forgivable? Since she moved in with you, you've been bullying her nonstop, haven't you? Serving her leftovers while everyone else ate proper meals? Forcing her to weed the large yard until past midnight? You even let the dogs out on purpose so she couldn't go to her father's memorial. And most recently, you burned the last family photo she had with her father, didn't you? Well, that's because I thought Naomi wasn't good enough for my son. But I promise I'll never do anything like that again. There's no from now on. Actually, Jack has already agreed to become an adopted son-in-law into my family in a few years. This is already a set decision. Excuse me? An adopted son-in-law? Yes, that's right. My father has taken a great liking to Jack's sincerity and hard work. He values Jack's abilities and has decided to have him work at his company. Jack is open to the idea and is looking forward to building his future with us. But Jack is supposed to be our heir. How did it come to this? It seems Jack doesn't want that. What? He says he doesn't want to be bound by your expectations and wants to choose his own path. We're supporting him in that decision. From what I've heard, most of the senior members of your company are family. And there are several candidates lined up for the next president, aren't there? Even without Jack, your company should run just fine. Don't be ridiculous. Jack is the only direct descendant of the main family. If a branch family child becomes the heir, what happens to our standing? That's something I can never allow. Well, it sounds like an exciting turn of events where the outcome is already becoming clear, doesn't it? Well, one thing is certain. If you had truly wanted Jack to be your heir, you should have accepted Naomi from the start. It's because of your interference that things have come to this. If I had known from the beginning that Naomi was the granddaughter of a major corporation, I never would have opposed her. So, there was never anything wrong with Naomi herself, right? Your opposition was solely based on her upbringing and environment, wasn't it? You're right. Naomi wasn't the problem. In fact, I think she did very well. Maybe I misjudged her from the beginning. However, you used that very environment as an excuse to treat her terribly. I have no intention of forgetting what you've done. And from now on, there will be no further contact between Naomi and you. Lucy, please wait. I admit I was wrong. But Jack is our only heir. Please don't take him away. I understand how you feel, but it's too late now. Jack has made his decision, and he wants to cherish his new life with Naomi as they look forward to their future together. Lucy, please, I'm begging you. I truly regret everything I did to Naomi. I will apologize, and from now on, I promise to treat her as she deserves. So please, let me keep Jack. No matter how much you apologize, the decision has already been made. Jack has also decided that he wants to end his relationship with you all. That's his decision, and as his parent, you'll have to accept it. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I accept Jack and Naomi's marriage, and I'll apologize for everything that's happened. Please forgive me. Whether I forgive you or not is irrelevant. We have nothing to do with each other anymore. Besides, this is the decision your son made. I have no right to change it. So please, enjoy your life on your own from now on. No! Lucy, please help me! Afterward, I firmly requested that Emilia stop interfering with our company. Thanks to the loss of her influence, we were able to protect the company. I'm truly relieved that we were able to preserve the trust we had built over the years. And more than anything, I'm overjoyed that my daughter and her husband can now live in peace. As for what happened to Emilia after that, not only did she lose her son, but she also became isolated within the company. With her influence gone, she was no longer taken seriously by anyone. And eventually, her position in the company became unstable. Her ruthless ways caused even her relatives to distance themselves from her. And I've heard that control of the company passed to another family member. The once luxurious life she boasted about crumbled, and she now lives quietly in a small apartment. She's lost the wealth she once prided herself on and has become just a lonely woman. As for me, I plan to continue supporting my daughter and her husband from the shadows, ensuring they can lead a peaceful and happy life.